Chapter 7. Boethius. In the philosopher Boethius, died 525, an early example of the scholastic method and framework can be seen. In his theological tractates, we have a spirited defense of the orthodox Christian faith. In the Consolation of Philosophy, written in prison awaiting death, we have an expression of a faith in the face of death which never refers to Jesus Christ or to Christianity. The gap between the two sets of documents is not as great as it would appear. Boethius defended the doctrines of the Trinity and the two natures of Christ. He was theologically committed to the orthodox faith, but he was philosophically committed to the old form-matter dialectic, and this latter commitment was decisive in his thinking. When faced with death, he turned to that philosophy. For Boethius, God is form. But the divine substance is form without matter and is therefore one, and is its own essence. So then, if God be predicated thrice of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the threefold predication does not result in plural number. The risk of that, as has been said, attends only on those who distinguish them according to merit. But Catholic Christians, allowing no difference of merit in God, assuming him to be pure form and believing him to be nothing else than his own essence, rightly regard the statement, "The Father is God, the Son is God, the Holy Spirit is God, and this Trinity is one God," not as an enumeration of different things, but as a reiteration of one and the same thing, like this statement, "Blade and brand are one sword," or "Son, Son, and Son are one Son." It is not our concern here to analyze Boethius as a theologian, but to call attention to his basically philosophical orientation and concern. As Boethius further stated of God, again, concerning his form, we have already shown that he is form, and truly one without plurality. It is already apparent that the faith Boethius was most zealously defending was Hellenic, and the quote-unquote Trinity he championed was outwardly Christian but inwardly Greek. The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Genesis 27:22. There was no lack of earnestness and sincerity on the part of Boethius. The new faith seemed an admissible means of expression and a true representation of the old philosophy. Accordingly, for Boethius, God was the great universal, the true God, but God did not represent plurality or particularity because God is not matter, and plurality and particularity are attributes of matter. In De Fide Catholica, Boethius affirmed the doctrine of creation because he was recounting the biblical narrative. But in dealing with the same question philosophically, his answer is radically different. 6. Everything that is participates in absolute being through the fact that it exists. In order to be something, it participates in something else. Hence, that which exists participates in absolute being through the fact that it exists, but it exists in order to participate in something else. 7. Every simple thing possesses as a unity its absolute and its particular being. 8. In every composite thing, absolute and individual being are not one and the same. 9. Diversity repels, likeness attracts. That which seeks something outside itself is demonstrably of the same nature as that which it seeks. In this thoroughly Hellenic perspective, the distinction between the divine being of God and the created being of the universe and of man is lost. There is instead one common being in which all things participate. Their particularity is their individual being, their absolute being is God. This is the Hellenic rationalism which characterized scholasticism. The theology of Boethius, moreover, is not biblical theology. It is at all times rational theology, and the defence of orthodoxy is to be undertaken on rational grounds